Hi, my name's Sam Metley-Toone and I work for London Wildlife Trust on the Great North Wood Project, looking after woodland in South London. I'm here today in the Centre for Wildlife Gardening to talk to you about earthworms. Earthworms are a fascinating and incredibly important group of organisms. Charles Darwin, who pioneered the theory of evolution through natural selection and who studied these creatures for 39 years, had this to say.
It may be doubted as to whether there are many other animals that have played so important a part in the history of the world as these lowly organised creatures.
So what is it that makes earthworms so important and interesting? They may be fairly humble, simple-looking organisms, but they also have some fascinating adaptations. Earthworms belong to the phylum Annelida, which are the segmented worms. Each worm has between 100 and 150 segments, which they can contract and expand to move across the ground or through the tunnels that they live in. Earthworms have retractable bristles at their head end called setae, which they use to anchor themselves in the soil and drag themselves through their tunnels. Some worms even have an iridescent sheen, like you can see here. Aristotle described worms as the intestines of the earth, and they do mainly consist of a digestive tract. Dead plant material goes in one end and worm casts come out the other. A circulatory system surrounds the digestive tract, and blood is pumped by 5 aortic arches. These are the worm's 5 hearts. Earthworms are hermaphrodites, which means they're both male and female. When they mate, they come up alongside each other, both facing in opposite directions, and exchange sperm. They then go their separate ways and both become fertilised. The clitellum, which is the pale band you can see here on this worm, plays a really important role in reproduction. It produces a ring of mucus which moves along the worm's body towards the head end. As it goes, it picks up the eggs and then passes the sperm receptacle so that the eggs can be fertilised. It then continues along the worm's body, popping off the head and forming into a lemon-shaped cocoon, which houses the eggs until they hatch. There's a common misconception that if you cut a worm in half, you get 2 worms. Unfortunately, that's not true. However, if a worm loses its tail, it can often survive and even grow new segments to replace the ones that it's lost. Now we've learnt a bit about the biology of earthworms, let's look at what makes them such crucial organisms for the Earth's ecosystems. Firstly, as every gardener knows, earthworms are crucial for the creation of healthy soils. They improve the soil structure by burrowing down into it and creating a network of mucus-lined tunnels. These tunnels allow air to penetrate down into the soil so that plant roots can breathe. They also allow water to drain into the soil so that plants can drink. Worms are also some of the animal kingdom's great recyclers. They eat dead and decaying plant material, helping to release the nutrients locked inside so that living plants can absorb them and use them to grow. Worm casts are the waste product of worms. They help give the soil a fine crumb-like texture, and they can contain 5 times more nitrogen, 7 times more phosphorus, and 1,000 times more beneficial bacteria than the surrounding soil. Apart from their amazing soil-improving activities, worms with their juicy, muscular bodies also make a fantastic meal, and lots of animals rely on them as an important part of their food source, including birds like this blackbird. And this robin. Toads are voracious consumers of earthworms. Badgers, like the one on our logo, have a diet that consists of up to 60% earthworms. I hope this video has given you an insight into the fascinating subterranean world of earthworms and allowed you to see them in a new light. If you'd like to encourage earthworms into your garden, why not make a log pile or build a compost heap? These things will encourage lots of other wildlife into your garden too. For more ideas about how you can encourage and enjoy nature, visit the Wildlife from Your Window page on our website. That's at wildlondon.org.uk/wildlife from your window.